and welcome to another My Little Podcast. We're your hosts. I am Bree. I'm here with my brother Bryson.
Hello.
My father Gary.
Hello.
And my mother Shelly. Hi. We're going to be just chatting with you about our most recent weekly peek, which featured the skid steer. Not the skid steer. I'm sorry, I have a comment about the skid steer that's on my mind. But we have let's see, the well drilling rig.
Spit it out.
Also having to repaint the truck, which was a bit of a bummer.
True. Which I did notice, that truck is the same color as the well drilling rig. The primer is.
I know it.
I noticed that though.
I was thinking the same thing. It was like we had one shot which went from the well drilling rig over to the truck, and it was like the same color. I was like, whoa.
I'm gonna ask Aaron what color that primer is. I should just buy that as a color and just paint the whole truck that.
There you go.
So I thought we'd start here with this great, this wonderful letter that Miss Kelly sent us, and it actually is a recipe for lemon pie that she sent over. It's an easy recipe which has my name all over it. She had told us about parchment paper, and then I remember we did wax paper instead of parchment paper, and we were laughing at ourselves because we weren't supposed to use that.
Yeah.
So she was one of the wonderful folks that suggested parchment paper, which was awesome. Thank you, Miss Kelly. And this lemon pie looks really scrumptious, so I'm looking forward to trying it. I thought in the meantime, before I can do it though, I might share that recipe with you. So I'm going to take this recipe and put it down in the description. It looks like a really scrumptious lemon pie. If you try it, let us know. But thank you so much, Miss Kelly, for taking the time to write this out to us, and we're looking forward to trying your recipe. I think Azalea and Kinsley stole the show this week. They were the absolute stars. Is that really cute scene of Azalea? I think one of my favorites is when she's like doing the motion of sanding on the tailgate when Garen has it down. That's my favorite. That's my favorite scene.
Well, she leans into the camera. That's cute.
Garen and Ellie, they send their footage over to us, and then we look at it, and then we break it up into sections to be interwoven into the show. And when it comes over, Bree and I have gotten in the habit of looking at all the footage to make sure they didn't miss one little shot of the babies that we can throw in there too, because we're always looking for or zooming in on them. They are.
Yeah, sometimes they're just adorable in the background. We missed one shot where
I did. Yeah,
we missed one this week where Garen is I can't remember what he's doing. I think he's spray painting or something, testing out the spray gun, and in the back you can see Ellie, Kinsley, and Azalea just hanging out on that golf cart back there. An adorable shot. We missed that one.
Yeah, it's like, we should have zoomed in on that. We didn't see it till later.
Yeah.
Sometimes they sneak in there. We enjoy obviously the grandbabies. We enjoy them.
Oh yes.
I try to be a little careful though, because I don't want to be like I could sit there and stare for a really long time. But obviously, not everybody can do that. But I'm just so tickled they get those shots of the girls, and they're right in there, intermixed into what they do, and it's so important and so valuable for those little ones to be engaged in the activities of mom and dad. They want to be part of that. You get them around 15, and they sometimes don't want to be a part of that. So you gotta, it takes patience to, have your children right there, and a lot of times you want to push them aside, but it's so important for their little development to just, come along for the ride and be involved. And us as parents have to be patient. Garen and Ellie are wonderful at that.
Yeah.
And really
by the way, too, those of you, I hope the mothers out there had a great Mother's Day.
Yes.
They had a good one.
Yes, happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
I know when we got done with the video last week, we're like, oh no, we forgot to say.
Really, not only were we done, it was up and out. We were like, dang it.
How could we forget that?
How could we forget Mother's Day?
Speaking of which, having videos uploaded, Rumble, you completed all the stuff on Rumble.
All 282. Now we put the 282nd one up too, along with a few little, full versions and that kind of stuff are all up on Rumble. And unfortunately, they're not in order, because what happened is we had uploaded probably about 20 videos just kind of as test. Sometimes we do that. We've done that, I think, with, I want to say like BitChute, and there's a couple other ones we did years ago. We would throw a video out there and just see if it was anybody. But for some reason, when we put one out on Rumble, we got people responding. And I was like, oh, well, that was kind of encouraging that, okay, we'll go ahead and start posting on there too. So we had gotten up to about 20. And then that's when Bryson says, hey, let's put the whole library out there. And then we started,
and then Mom
of course,
ends up doing it all.
It was, anyway, it's good because now we have all our videos in one spot too, which is kind of nice here locally as well. But anyway, so we got all those up. But the problem is that Rumble takes them and then they have to view them before they post them. We were throwing them out there in 10, 20 batches, and then all of a sudden Rumble would approve the ones above before the ones below, and so the numbers got all and there's no playlist on Rumble. So if you're out there on Rumble, you can do EP for episode and then just the number, all in one word, EP 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 282 if you want to watch them in order. That's about the only way to do it.
And if you watch 282, please let me know. Because that's a lot of video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot of video.
And we'll pray for you. Because that was a lot.
It's quite
That's
the journey.
dedication
Yes.
right there.
Yeah. And get a picture because your eyeballs will be bulging and stuff.
That's too much, My Little Homestead. Lifetime supply complete. Okay. I had a lot of great suggestions about the tire stuff this week while we were getting the rest of the tires on the well drilling rig. And Rudy Fisher had a great one here. You can use the skid steer by placing the bucket right close to the edge and then pushing down on it on the tire, raising up on the front wheels of the skid steer, then doing that as you turn the wheel around, and it'll pop off the tire really fast.
It sounds really handy to use that skid steer.
Yeah, using the weight of that skid
Using the
steer.
weight of the skid steer, I guess, and to
just
pop
kinda-
the tire off.
That's the
on.
old tire, right?
Interesting.
The popping the tire.
I don't think you could put it on that way. Although, have you seen those videos of people in skid steers like threading needles and cutting fruit? They're so good at maneuvering those things.
Really?
It's amazing. Those videos are amazing.
Some people are really good at that. We have a neighbor who's really good. He's come out and he does
Jeff.
use our
Yeah.
studio. Yeah, Jeff. He got a circle with that thing amazingly. I
And
don't
what
know how
does
he
his
did
wife
it. but-
say? She always says about him that he could get a toothpick out of the ground
I
or
think
something.
that he could pop up the can of a can of beer. I think was the joke he could pop a can of
Probably.
beer.
It was something with a
Knowing-
toothpick. I think.
Toothpick?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because he's unbelievable with those
He is an
machines.
amazing,
Well, you do it all your
amazing
life.
driver.
Yeah.
He's just amazing.
He is amazing. We had a really fantastic pun, multiple, by Pete Briggs. And I have to...
Somebody lit a fire under him, I'll tell you that.
Okay. Pete Briggs said, I would never tire of your mom's puns. I guess we'll see what she comes up with next. Just don't want to rub her the wrong way. I would tread to see that happen. And then Karen Stone said, love the puns. And he replied, thanks. I could have kept going, but I thought I would give them a break. LOL.
Oh, Brie, you got some competition there.
No, I don't know.
Oh,
That's too much, Pete. You get the crown.
Yeah,
That's
that was
awesome.
very good.
That's very good.
Wow.
I sat there laughing. I was like, good going. Nice. As I was reading it. It was good. I think this is a suggestion on getting the bead broken. And this is by Charlie. Charlie says, when you need to break down a tire, set it under the bumper of the truck. Then get an old-fashioned car bumper jack or high lift jack. Set the bottom of the jack against the wheel where the tire bead is, then jack up the truck. The weight of the truck will break the bead for you.
These
Nice.
great ideas.
You learn all
Bryson.
these things after you've done all of them.
Oh,
Well, you'll
Six of
have
them.
another tire down the road. I
We
know
will,
you'll
yeah.
be
We
doing.
will. But
Yeah.
that's
That's
interesting.
great. Good one.
Yeah.
Thank
That's
you,
awesome.
Charlie.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome. Willie, 1960, who's been with us a long time. Willie had a couple of suggestions for you as well. Willie said, in the future, Bryson, tire irons are 4 to 5 feet long for a reason. To the fabrication of the torque wrench, buy a torque multiplier when you're not doing too many tires. You can get a cheap Chinese one with sockets for around $50.
Interesting. I'll have to do that next time. A torque multiplier.
Remember those words. You can look them
Yes.
up.
I think that's when I was looking up certain ones. I think that was a tool that was coming up, but I didn't really think much of it. But I should have probably looked more into it because obviously that was an important tool. So thank you for the comment, though. I'll have to remember that.
Thank you. Really
for next
appreciate it.
time.
As the last of the comments here, because we're going to get to some other stuff. Damage Inc. loves Bullet. Every time we don't have Bullet in the video, Damage Inc. is like, excuse me.
Where's Bob?
So Mom was like, there's a lot of Bullet in this one. I was like, believe me, Damage Inc. is going to love it. So Damage Inc. said, Bullet Dog is the bestest helper. If only he could bring tools instead of sticks.
Yeah. And I've always thought that if you could just communicate with dogs, they would be so helpful. They would dig holes and retrieve tools.
Hand me a
They'd be
9/16,
amazing.
Who was it? I feel like there was a gardener who had trained his dog to dig holes. And so he was like, he would just point, and the dog would dig a hole, and then he'd put his plant in there. I feel like that's a thing somewhere. I feel like I've seen that somewhere.
I think I've seen a YouTube video on that. Yeah, animals feel so good about themselves too. Interesting enough, they will react to that. They know they've
love
done
that.
good.
Bullet always thinks whenever he sees us working, he gets his stick.
Yeah.
He immediately thinks he's working. That's what he thinks his job is. So.
Well, I've seen the other dogs too when we're in doing some plumbing stuff, and they're just digging in the dirt.
Yeah, if they see us digging, they do dig. Yeah.
And depending on where you're working in that same area, you might be hit with dirt. So it's just like all over the place.
It's sometimes, it happens. You end up dirt in your shirt and everywhere because
Hair.
they just toss dirt at you. And you're like, dude,
I'm
stop.
working
Wait,
here.
No, I don't want you to stop. It's awesome, but
Well, speaking of plumbing, that's a wonderful segue because that is what we're working on next, aren't we? Getting the plumbing done in the outdoor shower.
Yes, outdoor shower in the tub.
What do you mean? We already finished that.
Well, I think this week's video is going to be on. We got invited to Tiny Shiny Home to come out and look at their Hyper Tufa.
Hyper Tufa or Hyper Adobe?
Oh, I always say that wrong. Hyper Adobe building. It was so kind of them.
Yes.
And what a fantastic family.
Yeah,
it was.
that family's awesome.
And it was fun because they have 4 kids and they are spaced 2 years apart. And there's girls on both ends, and the boys are sandwiched in the middle, just like you guys.
I know it.
That's just a little side note, but it was a great trip and really a learning experience for us.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to meet some great people, and we're excited to share that with you. We'll be posting. I think that's going to be this Friday's video.
Okay,
we'll be on that visit, and then they also gave us some sampling. So this week we're either going to go to Garen and Ellie's, or they're going to come here, and we're going to work together and do a little test of something out around here too. Not sure yet what that's going to be.
Yeah, and that's what the Hypertufa. They were so kind to give us some
Hyper Adobe.
Hyper Adobe. They were so kind to give us some Hyper Adobe bags.
Yeah,
So
they're like onion bags.
they are.
Yeah, they're
They are.
onion. I would call
I've
it.
decided we should nickname it the onion bagging.
Yes, onion bagging.
So this is an onion bag home?
So we got earth bagging and onion bagging.
Should we just leave the onions in there
Sure.
and just toss the bags down, one on top of the
You know
other?
what'd be interesting? You plant onions inside the onion bag full of dirt.
You get
It
onions
needs
growing
water.
out of
It'd
your
be
wall.
quite an interesting aroma.
Be a lot.
Yeah,
It'd be a lot.
You could go inside and just pick an onion off.
an onion off.
Ooh.
Eating it.
Do you eat onions like that?
No, Shrek does.
It's true. It's true.
Layers.
Also, the holes, the movie The Holes, he just ate those things
Yeah.
raw.
Oh my goodness.
Right from
Could
the
you
top of the
imagine
foam.
eating an onion
Speaking
just
of
like-
onions, Brie has been in an onion.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I know. I don't know what's gotten into me, but I love them and I like them raw.
Yeah, just
very
like the
good.
last month, she's like, "I want onions. I need onions. I need raw onions." We're like,
I put them on everything. I'm like, oh, so good. Everybody's like, okay. Hey, you better be happy. I'm just not putting them in my cereal. All right.
Oh boy.
Just kidding.
Oh boy.
But I feel like I've come to the other side of the raw onions. But I feel like,
Well, I think you might be heading then towards hot sauce.
well, it's funny you say that because I had some hot stuff.
Really? that too.
Yeah, Chinese food that was hot, right?
Yeah, I was trying to. But I
That
mean,
was
I've eaten that
spicy.
before and enjoyed it. But I really.
It was good though. It was spicy, but it
Did
was
you have
good.
the same one too?
Yeah. It was
I
spicy,
didn't
but
think
it was good.
spicy, but my nose was running, so I was like, "Oh, this must be
Oh,
spicy."
yeah.
But I wasn't tasting it. I was so good.
Yeah.
See,
Wait
this
till
is
your
a-
eyebrows are sweating. Then
is-
you know it's hot enough.
This has been an issue for Gary because Gary likes really spicy stuff. I like zero spice. So, most of the kids they're all not really spicy people. And you've been really upset about this our whole life. There's no
it's
kids.
been a rip-off.
Yeah.
But
been
I'm
too
glad
bad.
to see you're at least pulling towards onions.
Now, did you like spicy as a kid? Because maybe this is going to happen in their adult life.
Well, I mean,
Whoa.
a kid, probably high school, I started doing
okay,
spicy
so
things,
there's still hope for the kids.
Still hope.
For you.
Still hope for you, yeah.
I mean, for you, not for me. I mean,
We would have like
I like to think of myself
traumatizing.
as a mild.
We would have traumatizing experiences
extremely
as
hot.
children. Dad would cut up in pepper,
Habaneros.
and then we would somehow it would end up in our mouths, and we'd be like, and Dad's like, oh, the flavor. I'm like, burn. There's no flavor. There is only burn.
Or Dad would go like, oh yeah, this isn't spicy at all.
Yeah. So I kind
But
of
it
think
wasn't
a little
spicy.
bit you too.
That was the
I'm just
mild.
saying.
That was mild. That wasn't even hot.
Yeah. See. Okay.
Because
And
I
then
like
you
extra
wondered.
hot. Yeah.
Now you know why we don't like hot.
There was no buildup. There was just jumping.
I'm okay with a little bit of heat.
I like the heat
I'm
when
okay
there's
with
flavor.
a little bit.
I enjoy the flavor.
It can't just be hot for hot reasons.
Oh, but
It needs to
Szechuan.
have-
Oh yeah. Those little. Oh,
It needs
those
to have
peppers are
flavor.
awesome.
Yeah, but speaking of hot, I've
Ghost,
got a couple hot peppers
habaneros, and
that are growing in the
Yep.
aquaponics.
yeah, I'm
grew
pretty
some hot
excited about
peppers
those.
for you.
Yeah.
They're all flowering. Everything's flowering right
You have that
No
chunk where
fruit,
you
but
just
flowering.
grew like 10, 20 plants, and right there it's just like they're growing like
Tomatoes
crazy. We got to
and
find
peppers.
some more things to
I know.
grow down
If-
the aquaponics.
We don't use all of that.
Yeah.
It's just gonna go to, no
We'll
use.
use it.
Oh,
So
I
you-
have to say too, my little
like only
Freddie.
planting
I have a
2
little fish
tenths.
that was in the rain barrel outside of Bryson's room, and I didn't know if it lived through the winter. I saw him up until about a month or two ago, and then I stopped seeing him. So I thought he was a goner. So I thought, well, I'll go ahead and empty that barrel now and water the plants. And I was watering, and sure enough, there he was on the bottom, just barely moving. So Bryson scooped him up, put him in his room,
I have a
and
tank in my
until
room.
we get some more rainwater, then we'll put him back in. But I like about that big.
He's pretty big.
about that big.
He's a big goldfish.
He's gorgeous. I love him.
So far, he's doing okay in the new tank.
Yeah.
Good.
And then he'll get back outside in the
I
rainwater. when
fed
he-
him a little bit this morning, and he nibbled it all. So
Oh,
Good.
he's hungry. Okay. He's a big guy.
he's a big fish. Yeah.
All right, well, I think that is going to wrap it up for us this week. We did have a new t-shirt design. I'm getting my energy back, so I did the t-shirt design, and I was kicking myself that I didn't do a peanut butter jelly design, because I was like, oh my gosh, that was afterwards. It was like,
Yeah.
because we had so many people go, like, hey, peanut butter jelly design or jelly design. And I was like, oh, that'd be really fun to do, And we had that wonderful lady suggest, and I was like, all right, we
From
got to do
Emily.
it this week.
It was Emily. Yeah.
But I was like, all right, we got to do it. So that was super fun to sit down and draw again. That was a lot of fun. So and if you haven't seen that design yet, it's probably on screen now, knowing me, if you're watching it or if you're listening. You can check it out at MyLittleHomestead.com over on our shop page.
I want to say, too, be sure to be here next Monday. We decided we're going to do sneak peek announcements on the podcast because we think that would be a fun place to do it. And then we'll probably, some of that information we'll pass on to the weekly peek. But we've got a big announcement next Monday. Next Monday.
Yeah,
So
it'll be
be
next
sure to be here for that.
Bring your friends and your enemies. Bring everybody. Just open up the doors and people will come. So.
Broadcast it to your whole neighborhood.
If you could guess what it is, we'll send you a t-shirt.
First one, the gases.
Oh, yeah, okay. We'll do the first one that guesses. If you could guess what the announcement's going to be, we'll do the first one that guesses it right. We'll send
Okay.
a t-shirt.
Yeah. Any t-shirt, any
Any
design.
t-shirt. It could be any design, just for fun.
Guess it. What? Like if they comment down below.
Yeah,
to
comment
guess.
down below.
Of the
Of this
podcast.
vi-
Of
of
the
this
podcast.
podcast.
Okay,
on
this
that sounds
podcast.
good.
This
yeah,
podcast.
this will be the first podcast we upload to Rumble as well. So if you're on Rumble and you comment there, if we can figure out how to get to the comments, because we haven't figured that out yet.
The notification system is so confusing.
Yeah.
It's a
They're
little weird.
timestamped, so that helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But apparently the videos aren't time stamped because they're all out of order. Otherwise
Yeah,
they would be in
exactly.
order.
Exactly.
It's fine.
All right. Well, we really appreciate you hanging out with us, being a part of our family, being a part of the conversation. We love hearing your ideas and your comments. Such wonderful ones on this week. Very encouraging. So we really appreciate that as well. And constructive whatever that you've got to say. We enjoy hearing it all. So thank you so much. And we will catch you on Friday for another weekly peek.
Oh, yeah.
Bye.